This is just a reminder that there's no school on Friday, January 17th, as well as Monday, January 20th. For literacy, we will be reviewing our sight words that we have learned so far. These are the words that we noticed that they struggle to spell, though. So if you could have your child read and write like. We have a new one, love, and you. And then our word this week was do, but they do a pretty good job with writing do. For literacy, also, we have just started talking about nonsense words. This will be this sheet will go home in your child's reading bag tomorrow, so you can have your child practice reading these nonsense words. And we told our kiddos that nonsense words are words that are silly. They don't make any sense, but they are parts of words that when you put them together might make bigger words. For example, Wis in Wisconsin. So when you work with them, I noticed that some of my kiddos are changing the vowels because some of our students have learned long vowels, so they might go w-ave. So I just want to make sure they're saying w-av, k, and then so on. So their goal is to read 3 of these in a minute for an upcoming test that we have. For writing, we are working on a narrative writing. We have talked to the kiddos about when we're writing a narrative, we want to work on or talk about who they were with, what they were doing, and where they were. And we're also saying that these stories are stories about themselves and they are real stories.
For math, we are going to be talking about teen numbers and teens on double 10 frames, as well as adding and subtracting with a game called Growing Train, which I will show you in a minute. There is a game that we've played, and it involves using your hands for teen number. So, Mrs. Whitfer, if you give me a teen number, tell me a teen number.
12.
12. So I would be 10. Now, how am I going to get 12? I only have 10 fingers. So then we have a partner. So I have 10, and we count on 11, 12. So then we made 12. Now we would put it down, and she could give us a new number, and we could flip-flop.
So 15.
So I'll be the 10. 10.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this practices teen numbers and counting on. So that's another game that you could play with your child at home. One of the math games we're going to play next week is called Growing Train, and this is the simplest form of addition for your child. If you have your Connect Ed card, if you don't have it, we can give that to you. You can go online, and there is if you can see it, a Connect Ed game. You have to go under Train Games.
It's okay. I'll find it. There we go.
Train Games, and then the Growing Train 1 game. And then it will practice adding pieces to the car, and it will say the addition sentence. So that's something that you guys could play before we teach that lesson next week so that they have a better concept, better grasp of adding numbers. And it's presented in a fun way that doesn't make it seem challenging for them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Also, we begin our cycle of assessments again. So we have our FAST testing, and there's 4 FAST tests that we will do with the students starting next week. So we have the nonsense words, which were the silly words. So the students will be able to get assessed over the silly words. Letter sounds. In 1 minute, beginning sounds of words, and then word segmenting. So you can practice that at home. So like even if you're in the car and you're driving, you say, what are the sounds of pot? So a pot, p-ot, pot. What are the sounds of cat? K-at, cat. Even 4-syllable words. So like what are the sounds in step? St, ep. So they have 3 and 4 sound words that they'll be assessed over. And then for science, we're finishing up that module that we started before break and doing force and motion now. So that's like the push and the pull. So what happens to an object when it hits another object? And then they'll have activities that they'll be able to do for that. So that is science and FAST for next week. So it'll be another short week. So remember, 4 days, no school on Friday, the 17th. Okay?
And then we will just real quick, we'll send more information out later, but we will celebrate the 100th day of school.
Ooh, there we go.
And we will be celebrating that on January 31st. Mm-hmm. And we kind of go big with the 100th day. We dress up like we're 100 years old, and we would love it if your kiddos could dress up like they are 100 years old too. So I just want to tell you that now so you can start looking for things. I do white hairspray, so I dye my hair white, add the wrinkles, so the kiddos, and we'll send you pictures or examples of that. But if you want to start looking for things to make them look like they're 100 years old, if I could talk, it's a really fun day. Yeah. So.
And it's totally optional. Don't feel like you have to if you don't want to.
But we'll be sending stuff home in Monday folders.
Bye!
Bye!